Welcome again, friend. I'm so excited. We've been talking about the 7 fundamental facts about faith, and we're on number 4 today. Okay, so let's just go straight into it. The 4th fundamental fact about faith is that faith loves. Faith loves. And we see that in the 5th verse of chapter 11, which Hebrews chapter 11, which we've been considering all week. Take a listen. The Bible says, by faith, Enoch was taken away so that he did not see death, and was not found, because God had taken him. For before he was taken, he had this testimony, that he pleased God. That he pleased God. You know, often we think of faith as something that we use to get something from God. It's not all about us. In reality, faith isn't just used to possess the promise of God. But faith is first and foremost something that we must use to please God. It's all about God. Hebrews 11:6 says, but without faith, it's impossible to please God. He says, for he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. You'll notice in this verse that pleasing God comes before the reward. So the first and primary reason for your faith is to please God. Not to get that thing you want, but to please God. And God gave me something powerful I'd like to share with you. He said, pleasing God is the reason for faith, but possessing the blessings are the rewards of faith. I'm going to say that again. Pleasing God is the reason for faith, but possessing the blessings is the rewards of faith. But many times, faith to us is all about what we can get. Friend, it's not like that. Faith must be for us a means by which we please God. Faith loves. Enoch didn't follow God because of what he wanted God to do. Many of us have faith because we want God to do something. I mean, that's okay, but that's just a reward of faith. The reason of faith is to please God. He followed God just because he wanted to please him, just because he loved him. And that is why the Bible says in Galatians 5:6, the second part says, faith works by love. I call this faith with no strings attached. If you have faith in God, don't make it a conditional faith. I will believe God if he does this, if he does that. No, just use your faith as a means by I believe God just because it pleases him. You see, when you believe God, when you express faith in God, it pleases him. Dr. Mike Murdoch said that God's greatest pleasure is to be believed, but his greatest displeasure is to be doubted. When you please God with your faith and say, Lord, I believe you, not because I see it, not because you have to do something, but just because you said it. I believe you are full of integrity. I believe you are who you say you are. Not just because I want you to do something for me, but because I trust you. I love you. And that's the first and foremost purpose for faith. That is actually the reason for faith. When you approach faith this way, I tell you, it will be impossible for you to ever doubt God again. Because why do people doubt God? People doubt God because they say, okay, it's not happening as fast as I want it to happen. But when you make up your mind, whether God does it or he doesn't do it, I believe God. That was what Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did. When they were about to be thrown into the fire, they told the king, they said, King, we're not even going to argue with you about this. Our God can deliver us. That's faith. But even if he chooses not to, we will still believe him. Faith says, I believe God with no strings attached. I believe God because it pleases him to know that I trust him. And when you use your faith to please God, God will reward you with the blessings. The Bible says in Numbers 14:8, if God delights in us, if he's pleased with you because you just believe in him just because, with no strings attached, then he will bring you into the land that he has promised you, a land that flows with milk and honey. So friend, delight God with your faith. Decide to use your faith to please God, and God will daze you with blessings.